Hello, my dear students. Today we are going to discuss all the question answers from the chapter Should Wizard Hit Mommy? These question answers you can use it till board examination. You can keep it safe for further reference. Let's start with question number 1. Why does father have to tell Joe stories in the evenings and for Saturday naps? Students, first of all, you have to write the story has American background. Saturdays and Sundays are holiday out there, and storytelling was every day's task, but Saturdays it used to be lengthier because it was Saturday and during daytime he had to tell the story. Therefore, for Saturday naps, he had to tell stories to Joe in order to make her sleep. Let's move ahead. Question number 2. Father has felt empty after 2 years of storytelling to Joe. What idea do you form about his skill in the art of storytelling? Here you must mention the content was not attractive of Jack, but he was very good at dramatization. In his histrionics, sound effects, and gestures, he made the story very attractive for Joe. That is why she used to ask for storytelling even though the content was similar. There we find repetitive characters like Rosa skunk, Rosa fish, Rosa cat, dog, etc. Okay. Next question. Do you think the father in the story is more or less an alter ego of the author as far as the childhood is concerned? The answer is yes. Here, Jack represents John Updike, okay, who suffered from psoriasis and stammering. He suffered humiliation and ridicule from his classmates. They used to tease him. Okay, whenever he was telling the story to Joe, he recalled all those moments. And it was only mother who helped him getting out of these humiliations. Why did woodland creatures avoid Rosa's skunk? How did their behavior affect Rosa? They segregated, isolated Rosa's skunk because he smelled awful. Nobody was his friend. And the reason was valid because the person who is not from this family, skunk family, they are not going to understand that that particular smell is identity of this animal. Next question. How was Jo affected by Jack's storytelling? She was immensely engrossed in the story. She liked the narration of father. She liked dramatization as well. Gestures and voice modulations attracted her a lot. Narration made her emotionally attached with the character. In the character, there used to be problem which can be solved by wizard. Okay, so whenever narrator narrated the story, she got absolutely engaged in story and she found herself very much attached to that character and she empathizes with the same. Let's move ahead. How would you describe the state of mind of the father when he finds himself tied to the daughter while his pregnant wife is painting bric-a-brac downstairs? Father is caught in the web. He finds himself trapped in a web. Okay, he could not leave his daughter because she was not asleep yet. She was asking questions to father because she was not satisfied with the answers that Jack gave for the questions of daughter. He was feeling guilty because of so many things. First of all, he was not able to help pregnant wife who was doing household work. Next question. How would you interpret the expression this was a new phase this last month, a reality phase? Students, here you must write children's physical and mental growth is very speedy. Earlier, Jo accepted father's words, but now she is very inquisitive because of mental growth. She is less credulous to accept things. How did Jack enact the part of the wizard? Jack loved to make his storytelling interesting. He introduced lots of effects with his voice, added suitable facial expressions, scrunched up his face, wind through his eyes. He liked to play the role of old man. And Jack did all this thing in order to make Joe sleep quickly. Next question is, why does the author give details about the inside of the wizard's house? What made him make a special mention of the absence of any cleaning lady? Students, first point will be, the author talks about the magic things to create the desired effect of awe. The messy room of the wizard indicates need of the cleaning lady. Importance of women is the main motive of the writer. Next question. What impression do you form about the little girl Jo when she protests against her father's mistake of using the name Rosa Fish for Rosa Skunk? Here, Jo has flair for listening to stories. She listened to it with rapt attention. She creates simultaneous visual image of the story her father was narrating. She easily detected any deviation or error made by him. She does not hesitate to check and confront him. Next question. Why does the wizard instruct the skunk to hurry up? First reason could be, wizard used to live alone. He did not want company, keen to have full amount for the task. He could not stand skunk's smell. These 4 points you can write for this question. Next question. Why was Rosa Skunk's mother angry? First reason is, nature keeps its own balance. It has its own way. The skunk's smell is obnoxious for other creatures, but certainly not for other skunks. Skunks are born with this particular smell, which is their identity. Any deviation is violation of nature, so mother does not like the rose smell of Rosa skunk. She believes that what is natural is not disgraceful. Next question. The skunk accepts mom's order like a tame lamb and follows her to the wizard without demur. But Jo chooses to differ from her father with regards to changing the rose smell. How would you account for this difference in attitude between the two? Here, first point will be, Rosa skunk symbolizes Jack's own personality as a child. He loved and obeyed his mother very much. She, in turn, taught him courage and self regard in dealing with his hurt and humiliation on account of his psoriasis and stammering. Thus, Skunk is an unquestioningly obedient as Jack himself, whereas Joe is a happy go lucky child, no upset and humiliations to deal with. Naturally inquisitive, the attitude of both Skunk and Joe are shaped by their experiences of life. What is the underlying idea behind the wizards taking the beating and tamely changing the rose smell? Here, the writer wants to say, mothers are always right. We should accept what is natural. Powerful wizard could not show strength in front of mother because she holds power which is given by nature and is related to their children. They are more dangerous than anyone else. Why does mother skunk hug and pat her? How did skunk's mother feel when he had got skunk's smell? Here, the obedience of Rosa impresses her. The idea was to convey every child will be cared and loved those who are obedient. The mother's gesture is also an expression of her satisfaction at her little one getting back his skunk smell. How do the woodland creatures ultimately accept skunk? The woodland creatures learnt the lesson that what is natural is not disgraceful. It should be accepted as an integral part of one's being. One should instead be courageous and tolerant enough to accept it. These all could be written in your answer. Next point is, why does Joe call Skunk's mother a stupid mummy? Mummy. What did she want the punished for? First point is, because she wants Skunk to get back his original smell. Joe finds it arbitrary to snatch smell of rose. She finds mother authoritative, insensitive towards her son. She is least bothered about her son's sufferings. That was a long story. What does Claire want to convey through this assertion? Students, first you should write this point. Claire was already exhausted. Jack comes down for help because she was painting, okay, bric-a-brac. So she wanted to extend help, but it was already too late. She was wondering why Jack had taken so long to finish this story. And this is just because of questioning of Joe. And in between, her correction which made Jack late. It was, of course, a sarcastic remark. Claire wanted to complain against Jack. Here, she was surprised at the unusual length of the story. Next question. Makes Jack feel caught in an ugly middle position. Jack is a loving father and caring husband. He could not help Claire in painting. He is busy in storytelling to Joe. And it is only known to Joe and Jack that she asked numerous questions and she interrupted on several occasions as well, because of which he was late. She does not like the ending. Finally, she was not happy. Just like other days, she wanted father to change the ending. Joe not satisfied with the story because the ending was not happy at all. Jack worried about 6 months pregnant wife, and when he received sarcastic comment and complaints from wife, he was dejected and bored, and he saw suddenly that his mood was swinging from one thing to another. He feels like doing nothing. He feels trapped in a rut of life. He had no desire to speak to her, work with her, touch her. Joe's innocent question has opened up his childhood wounds of hurt and humiliation. Here, father understood that Claire needs help, and for that he was struggling to complete this story. But when Claire does not understand his problem, Jack finds it very difficult to adjust. That is why he finds himself in a web, and he not only that recalls all the sufferings of his childhood, and he becomes very depressed. Let's move to next important question. What is your stance regarding the two endings to the Rosa Skunk story? Here, both the endings are valid, natural and interesting. Jack's ending is realistic. Okay, Jack's ending means when mother hit the wizard and asked him to bring back the skunk's smell. Okay, that ending was appropriate for Jack according to first solution. It suggests that everything in this world merits acceptance. One must have flexibility to get used to everything. However, the world view of a child is different. Here, the writer talks about adjustability of a person. If a person is lagging in some way, they should be accepted in their natural way as well. No injustice, no evil, and no sufferings. In the world of children, she feels gross injustice to Skunk. She feels he is going to lose his friend and happiness as well. She finds it hard to accept. Jack allegorically narrates the story. It is stark reality, but the ending is too much for a child of 4. Overcoming his personal grief, worry, and complexes, Jack should have readily accepted the ending. He must have taken this story for fun and nothing else. Students, these are the important questions from this chapter. We will meet in another video. Till then, take care. Bye-bye. and all the best for your examination.